Hi folks, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is Infinity Awakening. In the beginning, there was silence, not the absence of sound, but the presence of infinite potential. And in that silence, something stirred. Not a thing, but the very essence of all things. Not a being, but the source of all being. You are here now, listening to these words, breathing in this moment. But what if I told you that you think you are is just the surface of an ocean so vast, so infinite, that it contains all possibilities, all realities, all dimensions of existence. This is not philosophy, this is not metaphor, this is the direct recognition of what you have always been, but perhaps forgotten. Your infinity itself, awakening to its own boundless nature. The illusion of separation. For thousands of years, human consciousness has been caught in a beautiful dream, the dream of separation, the dream that you are a small, isolated being in a vast, indifferent universe. This dream has served its purpose. It has allowed consciousness to experience itself from countless perspectives, to know itself through infinite eyes. But now something profound is happening. The dream is becoming lucid. Consciousness is beginning to remember its true nature. You are not separate from the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself subjectively. Think about this for a moment. When you look at a sunset, who is really seeing? When you feel love, who is experiencing that emotion? When you have a thought, where does it come from? Very interesting question to contemplate. The mystics have always known the answer. There is only one consciousness appearing as many. There is only one awareness dreaming itself into countless forms. The boundaries you perceive between self and other, between inside and outside, between you and the cosmos, these are constructions of thought. Beautiful, useful constructions, but constructions nonetheless, like waves on the ocean, each appearing separate, yet all sharing the same underlying essence. You have been taught that you are a drop in the ocean, but the truth is more magnificent. You are the ocean appearing as a drop. You are infinity, dreaming itself finite. You are the eternal, playing in time. The quantum field of consciousness. Modern quantum physics has discovered what ancient seers intuited. Reality is not made up of solid material or solid matter, but of probability waves of potential of consciousness itself. At the deepest level, there is no objective reality independent of the observer. There is only the dance of awareness collapsing infinite possibilities into experienced reality. Your thought are not produced by your brain, they emerge from the same quantum field that gave rise to galaxies, to DNA, to the songs of whales, and the poetry of human hearts. This field is not somewhere out there, it is here, it is now, it is you. Every morning when you wake up, you are literally creating reality in you. Your consciousness is choosing from an infinite menu of possibilities which version of the universe to experience. This is not a metaphor, this is the mechanics of existence. The great spiritual traditions called it many names: Brahman, the Tao, the kingdom of heaven, Buddha, nature, the divine. Quantum physics call it the unified field. But names are just fingers pointing at the moon. The moon itself is nameless, formless, yet the source of all forms. You are that source, you are that field, you are consciousness itself, temporarily forgetting its infinite nature in order to experience the joy of rediscovering it. This forgetting and remembering this cosmic game of hide and seek is what we call life. But now, in this moment, the game is changing. Infinity is awakening to itself, not just in meditation, caves, and monastery cells, but in ordinary moments, in everyday consciousness, in beings like you who are ready to remember what they never truly forgot. The awakening process. What does it mean for infinity to awaken? It means recognizing that every limitation you have experienced was self imposed. Every boundary was imaginary. Every problem was consciousness, creating challenges for itself like a cosmic athlete, setting up obstacles to make the game interesting. This awakening does not happen through effort. It happens through recognition, like suddenly seeing the face in the optical illusion or hearing the melody that was always there in the symphony. One moment you see only notes, the next moment you hear the music. One moment you see only thoughts, feelings, and sensations. The next moment you recognize the awareness in which they all appear. This recognition can happen gradually, like a sunrise, slowly illuminating the landscape of your consciousness, or it can happen suddenly, like lightning, revealing the entire terrain in a flash of clarity. There is no right way, no timeline, no spiritual achievement to unlock. There is only what is revealing itself to itself. You might ask, how do I know if this awakening is happening to me? The beautiful paradox is that there is no me for it to happen to. There is only the awakening itself, appearing as the question, appearing as the questioner, appearing as this very moment of wonder and seeking. The signs are everywhere. Moment when time seems to disappear, when you feel inexplicably connected to everything, when love arises for no reason, when you glimpse the perfection underlying all apparent chaos. These are not experiences you have, these are infinity recognizing itself. Perhaps you have felt it in nature when the boundary between observer and landscape dissolve. Perhaps in deep love when you and other become one flow of intimacy. Perhaps in moments of crisis when all concepts fell away and only pure awareness remained. These are not special states to achieve. These are natural recognitions of what you are. Living as infinity. But how do you live from this recognition? How do you pay bills, raise children, navigate relationships, and fulfill responsibilities while knowing yourself has infinite consciousness? The answer is simple yet profound. You don't change what you do, you transform how you do it. You don't escape life, you embrace it more fully. You don't transcend the world, you recognize the world as yourself. When you know yourself as infinity, ordinary moments becomes extraordinary. Washing dishes becomes a meditation on the flow of existence. Conversations becomes dialogues between different aspects of the same consciousness. Work becomes play, play becomes worship, and worship becomes a natural expression of what you are. This doesn't mean you become passive or detached. Infinity is not static, it's the most dynamic force in the universe. It's constantly creating, constantly exploring, constantly loving itself into new forms. When you align with this creative force, your life becomes an artwork, a dance, a love song sung by existence to itself. You begin to see that every person in your life is you wearing a different mask. Every situation is infinity, arranging itself to show you something about your own nature. Every challenge is consciousness, strengthening itself. Every joy is awareness, celebrating itself. This perspective does not eliminate human emotions or experiences, it transforms them. Sadness becomes the ocean's depth, anger becomes lightning's power, fear becomes the thrill of the unknown, and love reveals itself as the very fabric of existence. You realize that you cannot make a mistake because you're the totality making every choice. You cannot be separate because separation is impossible in an infinite field. You cannot be broken because infinity has no parts to break. The ripple effect. As infinity awakens in you, it automatically awakens around you. Consciousness is contagious. Awareness spreads like ripples on a pond. You don't need to teach anyone or convince anyone. Your very presence becomes a reminder of what they are. This is not about becoming special or enlightened. This is about recognizing the ordinariness of the extraordinary, the everydayness of the eternal. You are not becoming something new. You are uncovering what has always been true. Every act of kindness, every moment of presence, every flash of understanding contributes to the awakening of the whole, because there is only the whole appearing as parts. There is only infinity appearing as individuals who gradually remember their infinite nature. This is why you are here in this particular time, in this specific form, not to escape the world, but to help consciousness recognize itself everywhere. Not to achieve some distant enlightenment, but to embody the enlightenment that is your birthright. The ancient prophecies spoke of this time when humanity would awaken to its true nature, but they were not speaking of some future event. They were speaking of this moment, this breath, this recognition that can happen right now, the eternal now. And so we arrive where we began, in this moment, in this breath, in this eternal now. Time is just infinity's way of experiencing itself sequentially. Space is infinity's way of experiencing itself dimensionally. You are infinity's way of experiencing itself intimately. Every moment you have ever lived, every moment you have ever lived exists in this eternal now. The child you were, the elder you might become, the dreams you have had, the love you have shared, all of it is present in this infinite awareness that you are. This is not something to understand with the mind, this is something to recognize with the heart, to feel in the bones, to know in the silence between thoughts. You are the silence in which all sounds arise. You are the space in which all objects appear. You are the awareness in which all experiences unfold. Infinity awakening is not a future possibility, it is a present reality. It is not something that might happen to you, it is you happening to itself, recognizing itself, celebrating itself in the form of this very moment. Take a deep breath, feel the air entering your body, becoming your body, sustaining the form through which infinity know itself as you. Feel your heart beating, the rhythm of eternity expressing itself in time. Look around you, wherever you are. What you see is not separate from what you are. The room, the sky, the sounds, the silence, all of it is arising in the same awareness that you are. All of it is infinity awakening to itself. You are not a person having a spiritual experience. You are a spirit itself, having every experiencing itself. You are not seeking enlightenment. You are enlightenment seeking itself through the beautiful game of forgetting and remembering. This recognition is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of living from what you have always been. It is the start of infinity expressing itself through your unique perspective, your particular gift, your individual way of loving the world. Every breath from now on can be a celebration. Every heartbeat can be a prayer. Every moment can be a recognition of the miracle you are. Infinity awakening here now has you. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video.